There were serious mistakes made at the beginning that caused a lot of premature deaths.
It was deserted. Those words coming from another testimony highlighting the out-of-control situation at CHSLD Herron in Dorval on Montreal's West Island, where 47 seniors died in the spring of 2020. In a new recording made public Thursday, entered into evidence at the coroner's inquest into the deaths in long-term care homes during the first wave of the pandemic, head nurse of Montreal's West Island Health Authority, Sophie Caron, is heard detailing the lack of care and staff.
Cette personne-là qui était en charge ce soir-là était complètement débordée.
It took us 6 or even 7 minutes to find someone, and this person who was in charge that night, she was completely overwhelmed. In an over an hour-long testimony to Montreal police on June 10, 2020, Nurse Caron reveals what she saw when she visited the residence on April 7, 2020, just over a week after the Regional Health Authority intervened at the privately run seniors' home, and its leadership told the government the situation there was under control. She says on that day, there were 5 health workers for 154 residents.
Avez-vous vu des gens du CIUS?
No.
Did you see people from the CIUS on the premises? Police asked her. No, she said. City News first brought you the story of the horrors taking place within the walls of Herron on April 8, 2020, when volunteer nurse at the home, Loredana Moulet, sounded the alarm.
When I entered the rooms, I discovered that their lunch trays were not even touched. Their mattresses were full of urine. The wheelchairs that they were sitting in were drenched with urine.
Nurse Caron's mother was among the residents at Herron during that time.
Là, elle m'a appelée en pleurant, comme quoi qu'elle avait mal, j'ai pas mangé.
She called me in tears saying she's hurting, she didn't have her medication, and she said, I didn't eat, they didn't bring us anything. Peter Whelan's mother, Connie, was also at Herron.
No one brought her breakfast. She was left lying in her soiled diapers all morning. She finally got lunch when the neighbor across the hall from her pushed her lunch cart into the room and said, here, Connie.
On a vraiment besoin d'un soutien je sais pas s'il y a quelqu'un qu'on peut communiquer avec.
We really need the CIUS's help. Is there anyone who can speak with them? On Wednesday, another recording made public revealed one of Herron's managers even turned to a government-run healthline for help because no one answered her at the CIUS de l'Ouest de l'île de Montréal.
And even when the CIUS leadership took over, we hear after that there were quite a number of deaths and attributable to dehydration.
Quebec ministers insist they only found out of the conditions at Herron after an article was published, the government waiting for the coroner's report's conclusions to make a comment.
What does it say about a government that fails its most vulnerable members of society? Come out, all parties, and publicly acknowledge and apologize to the families for what happened. And then do your public investigation and find out what were the mistakes that were made.
There were all kinds of people who admitted that things were going wrong, and there's no one, not a single person who took any responsibility for what went on.
In Montreal, Alyssia Rubertucci, City News.